Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hello. My name is Carly Gifford, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I post sit-down videos explaining TikTok drama to you fine people. Now, before I start every video, I tell you guys what I'm drinking and which lip balm I'm using. I'm drinking a medium Dr. Pepper from McDonald's, and I am using my Summer Fridays lip butter balm in the shade, or flavor I guess, Birthday Cake. Now, I'm really liking this one, honestly. It's so cute. It's pink with just a little bit of like sparkle to it. It's adorable. I'm loving it. And I've also been using my Rhode Salted Caramel Peptide Lip Treatment. It's absolute shit. I hate this one. It's salted caramel, which I've had before, and I loved it. It tasted good. It smelled great. This one does smell okay, but it tastes like shit. Like, I actually don't even know if I'm gonna keep using it. Well, I probably will because I bought it, but I'm gonna email the company and just say like, hey, yo, this one's awful. Like, there's very little consistency with Rhode. Like, so I got the salted caramel one the first time, loved it. Got vanilla, absolutely hated it, tasted like crap. Got the watermelon slice, loved it. It was actually like really great. It was a very subtle watermelon kind of flavor, and it smelled very subtly like watermelon. It was great. I loved it. And then this one, salted caramel, tastes like vanilla did when I absolutely hated it. It's awful. So anyways, I am gonna email the company about it. Anyway, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so today we are gonna be talking about Casey Anthony. Now, at one point a few years ago, I think, I did do a video about her explaining the whole case and whatnot, but just to give you a very brief rundown of the whole case, this TikTok explains it fairly well and just kind of all the suspicious things that Casey did during this case.
Casey Anthony making her second return to social media shocked me because it did not go over so well the first time. If you don't remember, back in 2011, she started this video diaries and was ran off the internet. But since Casey has made her arrival, I just wanted to ask a few questions. On June 16th, 2008, you and Kaylee left your parents' house and you told your parents you were going to stay with the nanny, Zanny. Which is very interesting because a few hours later, you're seen at Blockbuster with Tony, and he described hanging out with you during this time as you having a grand old time. You went, you stayed with him. Where was Kaylee? 2 days after the last time anyone saw Kaylee, you went to your neighbor's house and asked for a shovel. And I've always wondered what you needed it for. 4 days after the last time we saw Kaylee and you were doing hot body contests. I can just see the grief on your face. It's palpable. 2 weeks later, you go to the tattoo parlor. The tattoo artist asked where Kaylee was because he knew her. So I don't even have to ask you this question because you answered him and said that she was with the nanny. And then you got a tattoo that means the beautiful life, when in all actuality at this time, you knew that Kaylee wasn't with the nanny. So where was she? Oh, and let's not forget the shopping sprees you went on your friend's dime, except for your friend didn't know that they were paying for it. Because going on shopping sprees while stealing from people I supposedly love is exactly what I would do when my child's missing. One thing I've always wanted to know is how long you were going to keep up this charade had you not been caught. Because 31 days after Kaylee was gone, everything blew up. You, being the responsible person you were, left your vehicle somewhere, and so your parents had to go pick it up. This was after you ran out of gas and left your car multiple times. So your parents go and pick up your car, and George, who was a police officer, he smells the non-forgettable scent of human decomposition. And then your mom sees Kaylee's favorite toy and her car seat in the vehicle. So your parents immediately thought, oh my God, something happened to Casey and Kaylee. And they were half right. And if you don't trust George's experiences or thoughts, when they took this car to the CSI lab, the people who work there also said that they smelled human decomp. People whose job is literally around that constantly, and that's immediately what they smell before they even opened your car door. So you then take the cops on this endless goose chase, and that's when they started looking at you as a suspect. And then you sent Tony a text message I have literally never forgotten. You said, if they don't find her, they will blame me and I will spend eternity in jail. You didn't say, oh my God, I hope they find her. I can't believe this is happening. I should have reported it sooner. I was just trying to keep her safe. Just some sort of excuse. No. You didn't do any of that. Same thing with the jail phone calls where you were constantly saying, my life is being ruined. I'm stuck in here. Never, oh my God, I miss my daughter. This daughter. And you're saying in your videos now you want to be the voice for the voiceless. this is where you need to start. And I've also always been curious how embarrassed you were when you told the police you worked at Universal, so they took you down there to prove your employment. You talk to the first person there and you say, yes, I do work here. Like, I know I work here. So they say, oh, go talk to HR. You go to HR with the police and you sat there and waved at other employees like you knew them. I have secondhand embarrassment from just hearing about this story. But it probably didn't faze you because you have no shame. My opinion on that is proven by you coming back to social media to support the voiceless. Most of the world still remembers Kaylee, and for the people who have forgotten or just don't know yet, I hope they see every single video that's been made about you. It is not right that you can just come back and be this advocate. Who is advocating for Kaylee? I will never forget, and I'll make sure as many people as I can reach don't either.
That video doesn't really say what her sentencing and whatnot was. So Casey was convicted. However, the jury found her not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child. But what they did find her guilty of was 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information to a law enforcement officer. And that was essentially when she told them that she worked at Universal, and she really didn't. She never did. So she got a 4-year sentence, and she had to pay $4,000 in a fine for the 4 counts of lying to police. And then she got released from jail shortly after on July 17th. So she was sentenced on July 17th, but she had already been in jail for 3 years. It happened in 2008, 9, 10, 11. So she had already been in jail for 3 years, and then I think she did supervised probation is, I believe, what she got like after she got out. So anyways, honestly, I will say this with my full chest. I fully believe that Casey did it. I don't believe her. Like, her story never matches up. No matter how many times Miss Girl tells it, it's always different. This case absolutely infuriates me. But imagine my surprise when I saw a TikTok saying that Casey is back on social media.
Y'all, I opened my TikTok this morning and this was the first thing I seen. Why is Casey Anthony on the internet? Why is Casey Anthony on the internet? I know this isn't my normal content. I know my content is strictly political, but listen, I don't care what side you are. We need to agree on something. One thing. We are not making Casey Anthony famous on the internet, y'all. Because I know there's people on the internet who see a horrible person and they just flock to that person and they make them famous. We're not doing that. And if you don't know who Casey Anthony is, or you need a reminder, she allegedly, I need to say that, unalived her daughter and got away with it. The platform she seems to be trying to get famous on is Substack, but let's just be mindful that she is on TikTok. I just find this funny, this last, show people what it means to properly stand in the light, stand in the truth. Girl, maybe take your own fucking advice. Say it with me. We are not making Casey Anthony famous.
So here is what her account looks like. It's very new. She only has 2 videos up. I'm gonna play you her second video, but I'm gonna read her first video to you guys. So she's on Substack, which I really don't know what that is. I think it's a lot like Twitter or X or whatever. And so she's on there primarily, it seems like. And so one of her Substacks that she restacked says, "The internet is making us hate people who we don't even know. Log off, go out, talk to a real person. The world isn't as divided as they make it seem on screen. Reconnecting a divided world is what I write about every week here, and it's always free, so we can BS." Casey, people still don't really like you, girl. Like, you can retweet stuff like that and whatever, but like, we essentially know what you are like. I mean, like, we get the gist sort of based off of what we've seen on, you know, your case and how you handled it. You didn't handle it well, Miss Girl.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself. and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car, and I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and we'll see how this goes.
So then, Casey posted, "There are many fake accounts in my name, in the name of my daughter, or simply to spread hatred, being labeled as a boycott account. I have intentionally limited the public statements that I have made, my exposure to the media, my exposure to the world of social media, as we have all grown accustomed. My accounts have only ever been private. Today, my account goes live. Video content will be available by paid subscription. Public service information will be available on my profile here on Substack, and if shared to other accounts such as Mastodon or Blue Sky, will be directly linked. I am an advocate and a researcher. I have spent the last decade and a half working in that capacity, and now more than ever, people deserve to know what resources they can turn to and be reminded that they still have rights. This is my only account posting original content. I have never had a public account before, nor have I interacted with the public on a public forum. I welcome you to join me, keep an open mind, and allow me to properly reintroduce myself. My name is Casey Anthony. Hey, Miss Girl. Still don't like you. Anyways, the overall reception on TikTok has not been good for Miss Casey.
Casey Anthony, I don't know how you got here, but you need to be up out of here by 5 o'clock. I don't even have any words. And with that, you need to go ahead and get up out of here, because I don't know where do you think you are? Baby, this TikTok. Now, you might have grew up in the age of Facebook where you was doing God only knows what. But baby, this TikTok, you are not welcome here. There is enough of the true crime girlies who have dissected your story from this way to Sunday. And the fact that she thought she was about to come up, she thought she was about to come up here and get some. I don't care what you doing. I don't care who you think you helping. I don't care. Take them resources, turn them over to somebody we can trust. It's the fact that she just sat up here with a gangster lean like, we know who you is. And we know what you did, okay? Whatever it is that you thought you was getting ready to do, don't. Child, this came across my FYP. I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is. Now, this is her account. It looks like she had just started it recently. And she's got a Substack in here. And child, child, I'm floored. I'm be honest with y'all. She is pretty bold and brazen because of the atrocities that she had did to that child. And we know what you did. You just so happened to have two things in your favor. You had a halfway decent attorney, Jose Baez, and you had a case in Florida, okay? So you got lucky twice. Actually, I'm gonna say you got lucky a third time because you had the most incompetent set of prosecutors since the O.J. Simpson trial. And so because of those three things, a good lawyer, a messed up state and judicial system, and some pretty unseasoned prosecutors, that's the only reason why you were able to get away with what you got away with. But the fact that you thought you was gonna end up here with the rest of we not kicking it with you, man. In the club, we are not fam.
Excuse the fuck out of me, but why the hell is Casey Anthony back on the internet? Let alone why is she on TikTok saying she needs to advocate not only for herself, but for her daughter that she left in the trunk? Where's Nancy Grace? I'm summoning Nancy Grace. No, you know what? I got this. I have a mom like Casey Anthony, a sociopath, and I think sociopaths should be platformed. Ever. People like Casey Anthony should not be platformed. She got away with murder, legitimately, because of white privilege, and she's a woman. A white woman. Then has the gall and the nerve to call herself an advocate. What are you an advocate for? What are you advocating for? The abuse of children? So you could go party? Or are you gonna lie again on another person of color that you made up called Zanny the Nanny? You're not an advocate, you're not a victim, you're a criminal who got away scot-free. And to the state of Florida and to those jurors, I will never look at y'all the same, and I'm glad that they kept your names. Excuse the fuck out of me, but why the hell is Casey Anthony back on?
I really shouldn't say that, like, I don't believe her and I think she killed her daughter. I mean, it is, like, alleged that she did. It's just that I think she did it, personally. So, anyways, she's, like, one of the very few people that I just, like, absolutely despise. I do not like her. So, anyways, this is your sign to go block her on TikTok. I'm not going to, because if she posts more, I'm 1,000,000% going to be updating you guys on it. So block her and I will let you know if you miss anything, because yeah, this isn't okay. I absolutely don't like this. Anyways, that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.